And we welcome you back here to Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium in Collinsville, Illinois for game number 5 of day 2 here in Fletcher Gymnasium. Our quarterfinals have finished, and that means that we are on to the 5th place semifinals, and every team is going to play twice here at the Holiday Classic. So these two teams played earlier here this morning in MacArthur and Althoff. They both lost their quarterfinal games that they played, so now they will face each other in hopes that they could do the best they can for the remainder of the tournament, which is to finish 5th. My name is Matthew Clark. Zach Roseman will join me in just a moment. Before we begin going crazy here, let's go ahead and check all the scores in this tournament so far. It's been a good one so far. So let's talk about the day 2 scores. Let's start with those quarterfinals. Let's see, what was it? 67-53 was the final score in the O'Fallon-MacArthur game. Hold on, let me just check that. Basically, O'Fallon, surprisingly, out of nowhere, took out Decatur-MacArthur out of nowhere. It was a huge win for O'Fallon after they had lost in the past against this O'Fallon team. So it was a really good moment for them to pull off the victory. They won 73-57. On the other end of the bracket, Mundelein played Oakville, and they dominated the Tigers. Mustangs won 60-39. In the second quarterfinal, it was Quincy who took down the Althoff Crusaders with ease. An easy win for them. I think they ended up winning by about 15 points. And then on the other end, you had, what was its face?
Granite City.
Granite City beat Rockford East. That was the top of the consolation bracket. Then you had the victory for Mundelein over Oakville, and then Collinsville beat Triad in the third quarterfinal. They beat them 64-29. What a performance by Collins. Actually make that 67. And then Lincoln, you just saw them. They put on the defensive clinic, and they make it to the semifinals by defeating Belleville East 40-27. So where does that leave everybody here in Fletcher Gymnasium? That means we'll start with Althoff and Decatur-MacArthur right here, right now, in an hour and a half, 6 o'clock, the semifinals start. Todd, Duke, and I will have the call of O'Fallon and Quincy, a rematch from last year's sectional semifinal in Class 4A. That should be a really good one. And then the home team, Collinsville, plays a team they're awfully familiar with in the last decade or so at this tournament, the Lincoln Rail Splitters. And then at 9:30, it'll be Triad and Belleville East. You can catch myself and Steven Stock, the voice of the Belleville East Lancers, on that one. In the other gym, we just had another game finished. Collierville, in overtime, defeated McClure North by a final score of 53-51. Let me just tell you a little story before we're going in here, Zach. This was crazy. At the end of regulation, there was something pretty incredible that happened in the Aux Gym. So the game was 41-38. McClure North hit a game tie in game 3, but instead of the score operator making it 41-41, the clock said 44-38. So McClure North said, oh my goodness, and the players got confused as they were resetting it to where it should have been, which was 41-41. And McClure North intentionally fouled Collierville's Dallas Berkeley, their best player. Zach Dallas Berkeley missed both free throws. The game went to overtime, but Collierville still hung on. 53-51. McClure North missed a 3 at the buzzer. That is one of the most exciting games I've ever seen in the Aux Gym. I caught a couple of the last minutes of regulation in there. That's the most exciting game I've seen in the Aux Gym in quite a long time.
Yeah, it's turned out to be a pretty interesting one, and that Collierville-Carbondale matchup should be a fun one.
Yes, for sure indeed. Well, let's take a look here. Decatur-MacArthur lost to O'Fallon 73-57 earlier today. Zach, go ahead and give me that final score on the the Althoff-Quincy game.
61-48 in favor of the Blue Devils. We'll go ahead and Althoff starters being announced. It'll be...
Yeah, it looks like it'll be the same one, Zach. No changes here for Greg Lieb. He's been going with Earl Liverpool, Alex Johnson, Bryden Grishmalda, Dier Hill Jr., and Patton Lieb this entire tournament, and that's the way it's going to stay. On the MacArthur side, not a lot of change either. It'll be Sam Owens, MJ Murphy, Stevie Tatum, King Dees, and Sean Lee, which is what we have come to expect from MacArthur. But the two-time defending champions, Zach, are out of the winner's bracket, or out of at least the championship bracket. And how do they respond here? This is an unfamiliar territory. MacArthur have not played in a game in the tournament. Again, they won 10 straight coming into this morning's game, and then kind of laid an egg against O'Fallon. How do they respond?
Well, the same way that Decatur-MacArthur always do, by supreme intensity and they're going to get after it. Althoff aren't going to back down. Obviously, they've already lost once. A concern that some teams may have is that you lose in that quarterfinal and you kind of lose the motivation. Like, okay, we're not playing for the championship. As we can do is fifth. It doesn't really matter, right? But you're going to get ahead and get after it. I think there should be a fair amount of intensity. I don't think, De'Air Hill is going to go right after these MacArthur guards, and MacArthur guards aren't going to back down. Stevie Tatum had 25 points. MJ Murphy's had some good showings. King D's has played fairly well. They're gonna get after it. This could be a game that gets really up and down if the shots are falling.
Well, it's going to be a game that's going to be physical too. Both of these teams are willing to go in and make some contact in the middle there. So I'm sure emotions will be high. De'Air Hill Jr. has had a decent tournament so far. He had 25 points against Quincy earlier today. It wasn't enough. Crusaders still lost by 13, but he wins the tip here, and we are underway in the first fifth place semifinal at the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic. Winner will play in the fifth place game tomorrow at 2:30. Loser will play at 1 o'clock in the seventh place game. Here is De'Air Hill Jr. on the wing, guarded by King D's. And he'll go to that favored left hand, now switches over to the right. Dees is going to guard him there. This should be interesting, this matchup. Dees is right on De'Air Hill Jr., not even allowing him to get a touch. So it's Grismalden now with under 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Alex Johnson was wide open on the baseline, but it's Liverpool who go up the floater. Missed the first one, got his rebound back, then tried to throw it up again. And then at the end of it all, a shot clock violation because he didn't hit the rim. And he was out of bounds anyways, so Althoff got nothing there.
Yeah, it seemed like Earl Liverpool, for being as small as he is, and he's 5'8", listed at 5'8" anyway, I think he had like 4 or 5 offensive rebounds in that.
Three, but still, that's impressive.
Yeah.
One offensive rebound is 5'8" is impressive. This is Sean Lee. Had a great game against O'Fallon, and he will continue to pick up the points in this one. He only had 11 points. The first 7, though, did foul out of that game, though, and Decatur MacArthur missed him sorely as a result. Now on the way corner for Johnson. No good. Then the rebound comes to Lieb, stolen away by Sean Lee. So Lieb gives it to Lee. Now D's on the front court, and De'Air Hill Jr. picks up his first foul. I have a feeling, Zach, he might be in foul trouble again in this one.
Yeah, it's something that, Hill's a very physical guy. Obviously, big-time football recruit. And, obviously you kind of have the stereotypes about the way that football players play basketball. You kind of see that in the way De'Air Hill plays. As inbound comes into Lee, and he
it'll be a jump ball. Good contest by Alex Johnson, and so the possession's going to stay with Decatur MacArthur. So instead of Althoff getting the ball back on a block, they'll have to guard this inbounds pass, and Tatum will trigger it. Out to Lee now on his left hand as well. Some of the best players in this game have been left-handed players, but Sean Lee dribbled it in with his left hand and then took too many steps and traveled.
Yeah, it should be kind of interesting. Althoff, this is a different sort of style than what Quincy are going to use to, as De'Air Hill does what De'Air Hill does and gets down the court in a hurry.
Here's Lieb. Strong dribble into the corner. A little bit of loose ball there, but Liverpool picks it up. Guarded by the much bigger King D's. This is Grismalda. He'll drive baseline. Murphy tries to cut him off. He tried to drop it off to Lieb. He does. Liverpool with an open 3. Little too high from Liverpool, and so it's Lee down with the rebound. Now Murphy, no one's picked him up yet, and that'll just allow him to go right into the base, or right into the lane, and it's out of bounds off of a deflection, I believe, from Patton Lieb, who was the last man there.
Yeah, first time. Those of you who aren't aware, Althoff in the navy blue uniforms with the gold numbers, MacArthur, as they have been all tournament, as the topmost team on the bracket, that the only uniforms they'll wear in the white, trimmed in blue and red with blue numbers. 3-pointer from D's, up and good.
And King D's, who wasn't as offensively potent in this quarterfinal as he was on day 1, but they'll still enjoy it. Oh, look at choppy feet from De'Air Hill Jr. the other way. Here's Grismalda. He had a horrible first half, but a very good second half against Quincy. And can't get that one to go, so hopefully that's not the same story for him in this one, the Belleville West transfer. D's the other way now. Going to attack Patton Lieb. Go up strong with the floater, just left it a little short, and then got his own wrists. And then it goes off of Liverpool as Lieb tapped it in Liverpool's direction, and the guard wasn't ready for it, so Decatur MacArthur will get out of bounds. They've started up early, 5-0.
Yeah, it'll be, it seems like Decatur MacArthur kind of playing the same way that they always do. Althoff, just winning in the first round was, Althoff hadn't won a first-round game since It had been a while.
Yeah, it definitely had been.
As another three-pointer from Dees is
It's true again. King Dees, 2 straight threes for him, and just like they were in the quarterfinal game, Caden MacArthur's gone now to an 8-0 lead here in the first place semifinals. So they are definitely ready to play. D'Air Hill tries to get Althoff on the board, rattles in and out, and Sam Owens has the rebound.
Yeah, it's Hill hit a few shots. I mean, I think he had like 13 of Althoff's first 15 points as we get Liverpool with a foul there. I think he fouled out of that. Yeah, he did foul out of that Quincy game, so we'll see if he winds up getting into foul trouble again. That'll be his first.
Well, this is a spot that MJ Murphy would like to be a little better in this tournament. For him in the last game, 3 of 7 for MJ Murphy from the free throw line. He does get that one to fall, and you know, when you have your starting point guard not able to make those easy free throws, it just doesn't help you in Decatur MacArthur's position where O'Fallon were making free throws and doing a good job at it.
Yeah, Luke Smith into the game for the Crusaders. He replaces Lieb. Murphy makes the first 2, and already he's almost made as many as he did last time in much less attempts. Inbound pass comes into Johnson, who may have gotten fouled there. No call.
Althoff have come out flat so far in this one. 0 points in the first 3 minutes of play. Here's Liverpool. He's had a couple of tries at it, just hasn't got anything to fall. Neither is D'Air Hill Jr., who's in the post, got a couple of people to come closer to him, and then Grismalda had a corner 3 that he shot a little too hard. Now it's over to Dees. Athletic, almost catch. Now it's Grismalda who takes it away as Dees couldn't quite control the long pass. He dishes it to Smith, and it's blocked from behind by Sam Owens, the wide receiver commit to Lindenwood. Now it's Althoff back with the basketball. Up hard is Grismalda, and he draws the foul from Sean Lee.
Yeah, Grismalda wound up actually shooting an okay percentage, 4-9, but like you said, a slow start for him. Foul is Lee's first, as we mentioned earlier, Lee fouled out of that first game for MacArthur today, and definitely showed some potential. Again, just a sophomore. Grismalda makes the first free throw, and the Crusaders on the board.
12 points for Grismalda. He went 3 of 5 from 3 after starting 0 of 2. Actually was the second best leading scorer for Althoff with 12 of those points. 2 steals also for Grismalda in that loss to Oakville, where MacArthur in that fourth quarter kind of shell-shocked and unable to get anything going. Grismalda makes the second, and the Generals are on the board.
Yeah, getting after it. Looks like they've got Hill on Tatum, which I think would probably be the preferred matchup. You've got Grismalda as Tatum's three-pointer is short. Liverpool with the rebound.
Here's Liverpool up to Smith, who has been worked well on the fast break in the past. Now it's D'Air Hill. Love this matchup between him and Murphy, but he gets switched on to Lee here. 2 left-handers going against each other, and it's an offensive foul on D'Air Hill Jr. Oh, my goodness, everything's falling apart here on day 2 for Althoff because D'Air Hill Jr. has no points, and he has 2 fouls.
Well,
2 fouls on D'Air Hill.
They've got him for 2 on the stat board, so, yep.
That just cannot happen if you're D'Air Hill Jr. And he's going to stay in the game, though. I mean, there's nothing to lose here for Althoff in this specific game. 3 from King Dees. Yes, sir! King Dees from 3, and the double-digit lead is restored. MacArthur is shooting the ball pretty well here, which is something that they've struggled with in the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic in the past. Johnson drives inside around Sam Owens, and he's up for the foul. Stephen Tatum is going to be called for it, and it'll be 2 more free throws for Althoff. They still have not made a field goal in this game, similarly to where they kind of lost the game against Quincy. That huge drought in the second quarter where they didn't score for a whole 8 minutes in the game against the Blue Devils.
Yeah, Sam Owens called for the foul. We'll see DeMichael Jackson come in at the next stoppage, presumably for Hill. Kymir Carson will come in for the Generals.
So it's Alex Johnson, the third different, Crusader to come to the line in this game so far. Johnson hits that first shot. And Johnson is a player that continues to try to figure things out himself. He's only 12 of 50 from 3. Made a couple of threes in this tournament so far. But now with Hill Jr., he has been taken out of the game, and he looks pretty frustrated on the bench. I mean, him and Grismalda are got to be the leaders for Althoff.
Yeah, I mean, D'Air Hill coming from Vashon and then coming to Althoff and playing football, he's not a guy that's lost a lot of games. And Althoff haven't lost a lot of games either. Obviously, he's frustrating with losing because I think he knows that he's the guy for Althoff. Not that he's the only guy that can do anything for him, but he knows that he is the main guy. And for him to, have 2 fouls and be out there and see his team down by 10, that's got to be frustrating.
Well, these are the nights when you remember how great it is to be a 4-star running back and have offers from multiple Power 5 schools. As the pass is intercepted there, Dees was looking for the lead. Now Grismaldo will take it the other way, driving toward his left, out to Johnson in the corner, trying to shake off Murphy, and then it's a foul on Murphy on the ball, his first, Decatur MacArthur's third team foul. 5 minutes through, 13-3 is our score between these two teams. Decatur MacArthur looks seasoned in this area, just playing these 2 games on day 1 or day 2 at the Holiday Classic, and Althoff still trying to figure things out here. Johnson has the open lane on the right side. No one else but Tatum was guarding him there. Tatum gets enough on the contest to get Alex Johnson's shot to teeter off. Now Tatum about to pass. Then he did pass to Carson in the corner for 3. No good, and the rebound is tipped out. Murphy doesn't get it. 3-on-0 coming for Althoff, and it'll be Alex Johnson who kind of rim grazer there for Alex Johnson. Doesn't matter, it's 2 points. The Crusaders badly need points from wherever they're coming.
Yeah, we'll give him half a dunk for that one. Another 3-pointer for Tatum. No good, so he hit a few from that spot in the first quarterfinal. Specifically, he hit 5. Shot 50% as...
On the other end, it's Grismaldo who cuts it to a 5-point game immediately. So suddenly MacArthur having to deal with a little bit of Althoff pushback. They may have thought in these first 5 minutes that it was going to be easy peasy for them in this game, but good response from the Crusaders. Yeah, which is what O'Fallon did in the quarterfinal. Decatur MacArthur was up early, and then O'Fallon just kind of fought back and then took the lead and won it.
Yeah, one thing that, maybe a small factor, obviously these are all, teenage guys in pretty good, reasonably good shape as Lee will get the layup. MacArthur are a little bit fresher. Them playing in the first quarterfinal, they've had another hour and a half, hour 45 minutes to rest. Althoff played, 5 hours ago, so it's something that, Althoff not a remarkably deep team, so you're probably not a lot of times that you've had to play 2 games in 2 days, so maybe a little tired.
3 from DeMichael Jackson is short. He had to try to sail it over Lee, who was coming out to challenge it. Just over a minute to play here in the first quarter. Nice drop down pass to Lee. He's got another layup there, and that's Sean Lee's 5th and 6th point of this first quarter. And just when Crusaders had cut it down a little bit, it's opened back up here to a 9-point advantage.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I'd like to see Smith maybe do a little more. He's had that good game in the first round against Mundelein, and then was a little quiet against Quincy. I think he only hit the 1-3.
Liverpool, 10 seconds on the shot clock, and DeMichael Jackson passes up the open 3, and it goes inside to Johnson. Johnson will go to the free throw line. You can't deny the fact that Althoff has done a good job of drawing Decatur MacArthur fouls here in this first quarter.
Yeah, fouls on, well, they put 12 up, so.
Sorry, number 12.
All right, so yeah, the foul is on Lee. That's his second. And we'll see Johnson shoot some free throws. Actually did not shoot in the quarterfinal game against Quincy.
Well, the 2 players that were in the most foul trouble in this game in the quarterfinals, Sean Lee for Decatur MacArthur and D'Air Jr. for Althoff, are both already in foul trouble. Both of them have 2 fouls. We haven't finished the first quarter. More bad free throw shooting as Althoff went 7 of 12 from the free throw line. That's not great, but not horrible, but not great as well. That's 58% as a team, and just unacceptable. And on the other end, it's just.
I mean, MacArthur went 7 of 16, so.
Right. They're under 50%. Yeah. Second shot from Johnson. That's good. And Patton Lee will come back into this game. He checks out Johnson with 37 seconds left, so 2 seconds separate the game clock at 37 seconds and our shot clock at a full 35 seconds. Inbound coming to Kymir Carson, and he will dribble it up on to Michael Jackson. Good little matchup between 2 underclassmen here, I believe, in Carson and Jackson. Actually, DeMichael Jackson's a senior, but 2 players that are not the main forces on this team. And Luke Smith now will have to try to guard Stevie Tatum most likely on this final possession. Tatum weighs off Carson here on the near side. 15 seconds to go. MacArthur will take it slow here. If they score 3, they'll have 20 points in this first quarter. Owens trying to survey. They tried to screen down low, and then the pass is thrown away. Grismalda coming down the other court with 2 seconds to DeMichael Jackson. It's off the base, the side of the backboard, and no good. That shot won't count anyways, as he just threw it down here. 17-9 is our final score. We played a full 60 minutes, or full 8 minutes. No one called any timeouts. So some good basketball here, and we'll be back with more of that in just a moment on the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for K-Hawk fans, before, after, or even during K-Hawk games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food, like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus, they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows K-Hawk games live, as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carry-out orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, K-Hawk fans' pub of choice.
Back with you here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. I still turn on the wrong mic. Turn on Zach's mic. Doesn't matter. Wanted to let you know that Rockford East and Oakville have yet to play. They'll be playing in the Ox Gym hopefully close to the next couple of minutes after that Collierville-McClure North game went late. That's the first game that's gone into overtime so far at this Prairie Farms Holiday Classic. And again, you can check all those games in the Ox Gym and the losers bracket out on the K-Hawk Athletics YouTube page. Search K-Hawk Athletics on YouTube and it'll pop right up for you. This is Liverpool on the baseline. Good first quarter from Decatur MacArthur, a little bit more like it. And then, oh my goodness, Michael Jackson wasn't looking for the ball there. Smith now trapped in the corner. Great pass inside to Michael Jackson. He smoked the layup. Man, what a pass. And sometimes you just got to finish those layups. Still a scramble inside. And then it's King Smith who finds the rebound. Scrambled down right under the basket. And it goes off of a MacArthur body. And it'll be Althoff basketball. Pardon me, went off an Althoff body to Decatur MacArthur basketball. That might have been just the best pass of the tournament right there. He was in a double team. And he used some of his soccer vision right there to find a Michael Jackson wide open under the basket, and he couldn't convert the layup.
Yeah, Luke Smith, pretty good three-point shooter on the basketball court, but maybe his most valuable athletic body part would be his 2 feet, as he was a soccer player and also the kicker for the Althoff football team.
Tatum tried a nice pass himself, but he turned it over. Grismalda for 3 in the corner. Got it! And Brian Grismalda, if they're going to win this game, Althoff, they're going to need a little bit more from him. He's up to 8. That leads the Crusaders.
He's done a pretty good job, just not really forcing it, but with De'Aaron Hill in foul trouble, somebody else has got to step up and score the ball for the Crusaders.
This is Carson, guarded by Luke Smith, player that you said, Zach, you'd like to see a little bit more out of. He's playing good minutes here, helping facilitate Althoff scoring. Carson in the corner. He hasn't been very offensively potent for MacArthur this tournament so far. Throws it high to D's. Inside, it's King Smith. King to King, and it's a Smith who finishes it as the shot clock expires it.
Yeah, the 2 offensive linemen going at it. Smith and Lee battling it down. That's an intriguing matchup.
Smith, he'll pull for 3. And Althoff's got another one on that left corner. That's like their sweet spot right now. It's back to a 4-point game. And Therese Bryson is saying we got to do a little bit better of guarding the three-pointer there. It's a 30-second timeout. It's the first timeout of this one. 19-15, Decatur MacArthur leads. Back in a moment here on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of K-Hawk Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go K-Hawks.
Quick 30-second timeout from Decatur MacArthur as we return here on the K-Hawk Sports Network. These two teams have played 3 times against each other in the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic in the past. Decatur MacArthur is 2-1, but these two have not played since 2015. That was the championship game of the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic. You remember names like Tarkus Ferguson, Brendan Gooch, and Jordan Goodwin? Yeah, Althoff won that game by 30, which is one of probably the largest margins a championship game has ever had in this tournament. But that was then, and this is now, as Carson goes up strong, got the contact, but no call, and then it's scrambled right next to the Althoff bench, and MacArthur regained possession. Dees takes a deflection off of Liverpool, and out of bounds, it'll be Decatur MacArthur basketball. Do you remember anything about that Althoff team?
That 2015 team, I did actually see that 2015-2016 team one time, the Highland Shootout, taking on a Chaminade team led by one Jason Tatum. Which was a very fun environment, as we have
quick stoppage here and
administrative stoppage, but yeah, that was a good team. CJ Colden, Tarkus Ferguson, Brendan Gooch, Marvin Bateman, a lot of very talented guys, multiple collegiate athletes. Jordan Goodwin has played in the NBA, and yeah, it's been a fun time. As
there were multiple NBA players on that floor that day. One of them obviously being Jordan Goodwin. So King D's had to go off there because of, again, an administrative stoppage. I think he had an issue with his uniform. Now it's offensive lineman against offensive lineman in the trenches again. That time Patton Lieb won the battle, but it's the wide receiver who gets the basketball and almost converted the and one.
And Althoff asking for kind of a forearm push-off, but
if I'm Patton Lieb, though, I've got to take the charge. Fall down. Maybe, I don't know.
That's a big guy to be running you over. And I don't know, it feels like as a, I guess that offensive lineman instinct, like you don't want to, if falling over is the last thing you want to do, but only Lieb's first foul, so no major concern there.
Sam Owens hits that first free throw. He's been starting for Decatur MacArthur, but not a huge scoring asset for them. Did have 4, and then I believe he had 10 against Granite City in game 1, all the way back on day 1 at 10 a.m. Can't believe that was only about 36 hours ago or something like that. Maybe less than 36 hours ago.
Yeah, about,
I don't know. Got to do the math there.
30, I don't know. 29-30, we'll see what happens. Deer Hill back in, so Althoff have done a reasonably good job, only down by 5, so.
Here's Owen's second free throw. That's good, and Decatur MacArthur determined to shoot the free throw a little bit better. They've made a good chunk of their free throws so far that they've taken. As Smith breaks the press there in front of Owens and then dribble it over towards Johnson. Scramble there. Decatur MacArthur spring the trap, and then he throws it out of it, Alex Johnson, but it's a travel, and it's a turnover for Althoff.
Yeah, it did kind of move the feet. They were going for the step through. We thought maybe they were going to call the foul there, but I guess they'll argue that he had those steps in before. Yeah, it's been kind of interesting. These fifth place semifinal games always have a little bit of an interesting vibe. The 9:30 game especially, because
it's late.
It's
really
late, and you have to. It's kind of a unique environment. You got, even matchup, which is what you get, but it's trying to figure out, like I mentioned earlier, where's the effort level at. How tired are you? Because it is your second game of the day no matter what. Yeah,
and I would say, tonight, the 9:30 game should be really good. You got two teams that will give that effort in Triad and Bevel East. Grismaldo, one-on-one, left the shot short, and it's going to be a run out here. Stevie Tatum going the other way, and he'll lay it in for 2. Decatur MacArthur's got that 5-point lead back. Boy, if Althoff want to get started on trying to turn these losses into wins, which they're on their road to potentially another one here. They've got to you got to stop turning the ball over. They had 18 against O'Fallon, and there's another one coming there on the block shot after Hill went up. The ball was taken away. Now it's Murphy, guarded closely by Grismaldo. Murphy's worked really hard in this tournament. Let's see how much energy he has here in this second half.
Maybe all those conditioning. That's
MacArthur
Bryson, showed up at 10 a.m. game. They were here an hour before.
Running sprints, not real sprints, but running up and down the floor. Steal there from Liverpool. It's Althoff's turn to score off the fast break as Earl Liverpool lays it in 4-2. He can steal a couple in the game, but there is an injury here on the side, and Earl Liverpool looks like he's holding his leg. We'll see what that injury's about and be back in just a moment on the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future. to create your inheritance. To build your vision. To anticipate the known and unknown. And to find potential in both. And build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
Visit Brad Keene at his Collinsville office at 106 North Clinton or call 618-467-8420.
Back with here at the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic. That injury timeout took a little bit longer, or a little bit shorter than expected, as Liverpool got up, I believe, under his own power. And MJ Murphy scrambles right around, I think, Grismalda and company, and puts it up for 2. MJ Murphy now has 4 points. Here's Grismalda, guarded by Murphy. Over to Smith. Smith looking for options on that left wing. Back over to Grismalda. Althoff really need to tap into that three-point shooting that has helped them here in the tournament so far. DeMichael Jackson drives inside, kicks it out. Smith on the baseline. Couple of passes around to Grismalda. Now he'll drive right after Decatur MacArthur switched off, and the layup is good for Bryden Grismalda. He's the first player in this game up to double figures with 10.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier, we talked about it. Grismalda was a Belleville West Maroon and got some varsity action last year.
Not a ton, though. And it looks like that may have been a mistake from West's point of view, because Grismalda, he's not a bad basketball player.
No, I mean West have a lot of pretty good talented group of guys, as Tatum hits his first three-pointer in the game.
Yeah, stepped right into that three, a little sidestep three, and I'd rather let him drive to the basket than try to shoot that three. Here's Jackson. Alex Johnson wide open for 3. And it is no good, and the rebound comes to Murphy. Good box out by him on DeMichael Jackson. Now Murphy up towards Dees. DeMichael Jackson almost stole it. Power move by Dees, no good. And Sean Lee, just like he's been all this tournament, is right there on the offensive rebound to put it up for 2. He's got 10 now.
Yeah, Lee's been quiet as we've got a violation as Jackson stepped on the end line. Sean Lee's, he's been...
Remember that name. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think...
Just a sophomore, and quietly has been
top 15, top 10 player in this tournament.
Yeah,
I mean, they're not wrong.
Quietly make an argument for an all-tournament team. I don't know that there's been enough of the, kind of the flashy stats, but he does a lot of things really well. And, Coach Bryson's offered him some praise as being, one of the best sophomores, in Central Illinois and indeed in the whole state. Is
another one there for Stevie Tatum. And Decatur MacArthur will open it up now. It's a 16-point game, and Althoff have turned the ball over again as it leaves into Tatum. It's going to go all the way off of an Althoff foot, and it's going to stay with Decatur MacArthur. Boy, Stevie Tatum is lighting it up from deep, and it's just a shame. He had 25 points in that quarterfinal, and MacArthur's defense is what failed him in that game.
Yeah, Smith going to ask the question there. I mean, obviously, kind of used to seeing a ball rolling around, as mentioned. Smith's a soccer player,
and it's always out of bounds in soccer. You have all those throw-ins on the baseline.
Right.
Murphy's got some space. Spin move inside, fouled, and it will not go the way of into the rim, but out of the rim. So Murphy's got more free throws here, looking to stretch it to an 18-point lead. MacArthur have done really well, and it just seems like the second quarter, really all tournament, is where Althoff have struggled, and they've really struggled in the first half in general.
Yeah, it's just, it seems like kind of the Althoff MO, at least for the past few years, is that they'll just kind of make
You're
things
right.
we saw last year, they got off to, especially that Mundelein game.
And the Rockford East game.
And the Rockford East game. They got off to kind of a slow start, and then you had one dominant scorer in Jordan Lewis, who was I think special mention All-State player last year, but he's gone, and now, you have somebody who might be able to do that for you, but right now, he hasn't done a whole lot, and that's De'Air Hill. And, we'll see if he can have that capability, as that was deflected, so no backcourt violation.
And Grismalda was scrambling to try to get out of the Decatur MacArthur pressure. It falls into the hands of Carson, and a timeout called by Bryson before Althoff could get their hands on it. It's just a 30-second timeout. Good, and Decatur MacArthur will get the basketball back when we return on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
First National Bank of Waterloo, with over 100 years serving the Metro East. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo at their Maryville or Collinsville locations for all of your banking, mortgage, and lending needs. Why? Super low closing costs, low construction loan rates, and they do so much to support our local communities. When you need a loan, call the Collinsville team at First National Bank of Waterloo at 618-345-1121. Or visit their Maryville or Collinsville locations or online at fnbwaterloo.bank. First National Bank of Waterloo, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Fifth place semifinal action here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. MacArthur could stretch it out to a 20-point lead here as 90 seconds remain in this second quarter. Murphy's got the basketball. He helped force multiple turnovers from Althoff. There's the screen for Tatum. Inside is Owens, and the wide receiver is able to put it in before the running back, De'Air Hill Jr., could make a sensational block on it. So 39-19, this one is getting into blowout territory.
Yeah, we'll see what happened. We had one running clock game here on this floor already with Collinsville taking a part tried. We'll see if we get another one here. I don't think Liverpool scored. Nice job there by Lieb getting the offensive rebound.
Grismalda, it falls back to Liverpool with under a minute to go. De'Air Hill will pull from three, and his shot is off, man. It has not been on since the beginning of that game against Quincy, and then Hill misses the layup. And I got to imagine he's gassed as well. He was really tired in that quarterfinal against Quincy, where he gave everything in the defeat.
Yeah, one thing that you've heard from East St. Louis football, one of their mantras is all gas, no brakes, and that's kind of the way De'Air Hill plays. And obviously this is a test of not only the physical capabilities but also kind of the mental capabilities, because obviously it's the second game of the day. You're going to be tired. I mean, I don't care what kind of shape you're in. If you're playing 64 minutes of basketball in 6 hours, that's going to be tough for you. Another turnover for Althoff, but
Carson with 5 seconds to go, inside to Stees, and he's fouled by Grismaldo, who hit the deck hard there. He's just going to need a minute to get back onto his feet. How about domination from Decatur MacArthur? You wanted to see the response from these Generals team, who their 10-game winning streak just got snapped at this Holiday Classic. Here's your response. It's 41-19, and it could be 43-19 at the end of the first half against an Althoff team that is state-ranked in the Class 2A.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I kind of had my suspicion. Therese Bryson is not the kind of coach as Dees misses his first free throw. Therese Bryson is, he's one of the biggest, most energetic coaches that we have here. Not too many, but oftentimes you'll see that some of those, more energetic coaches get a lot out of their guys because, you want to match the energy that your coach is giving off, as Dees does get the second one to fall.
Here's Hill, and Althoff will get one more throw at the rim. It's Grismalda. Does he get it off in time? Yes, he does, and it is no good. That was about as close as we've been to a potential long-court buzzer beater in this entire tournament. Althoff's out of gas. 42-19 is the score. Decatur MacArthur playing as strong as they really have all tournament, and they've, I don't even know how many. I think De'Air Hill Jr. is not even into double figures, and I'm not even sure if he has scored, and work to do for Althoff, and a lot of learning and growing that they can do in the second half. Decatur MacArthur has that big lead, and we will return in just a little bit to give you those halftime stats in this fifth place semifinal on the KHOC Sports Network. We'll return after this.
Looking to buy a new home or sell your current home? Trust the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty with all of your real estate needs. The real estate market is hot right now, and you can trust the years of experience the Blaylock Group brings to the table. The Blaylock Group can help you find your dream home, or they can help you get top dollar for your current home. Give Peyton or Emily Blaylock a call today at the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty, 618-780-4622. That's 618-780-4622. The Blaylock Group of eXp Realty. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville produces their own spirits and beer on site right at the restaurant. Pair that with some of the most unique menu items around the entire metro area, and you can see why they are such a hit. They can handle you and your family, or they can handle you and your group. Throw in the occasional live entertainment, and you can see why Old Herald Brewery and Distillery is a must-stop destination in Collinsville. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, 115 East Clay Street in Collinsville, 618-855-8. Just because we're adults doesn't mean we don't have toys, am I right? If your adult toys consist of boats, campers, or RVs, then you need to call the GASA Storage team of professionals. Winter weather in the Midwest can be quite harsh, and finding a place to properly store those expensive toys for winter can be just as rough as a Midwest winter. That's where the GASA Storage team comes in, with outdoor self-storage and covered storage for your toys. They even have tractor-trailer parking, conveniently located at Horseshoe Lake Road and 111 in Pontoon Beach. GASA Storage, for the safe storage of all of your toys. Contact the GASA Storage team, gasastorage@gmail.com, or call today, GASA Storage Team, 618-797-6100.
Your home is where you feel happy, safe, and secure. So if you see signs of foundation problems like cracks or uneven floors, worrying is natural, and getting it fixed is crucial. Woods Basement Systems understands. We've been solving foundation worries since 1986. Woods experts have the training and equipment to make permanent repairs. So stop worrying, because with Woods, it's fixed forever. Foundation problems don't get better with time, they get better with Woods, the all things basement-y experts. Call or go to woodsbasementsystems.com today.
Collinsville High School alumni Stacy Lauenstein, CHS class of 91, Lisa Bassetto, Sarah Sulke, and Tracy Limp, CHS class of 94, Tony Geisen, CHS class of 96, and Kevin Robinson, CHS class of 99, want to wish all of our K-Hawks a great year. We look forward to cheering you on and supporting you. Work hard on the court and the field, as well as in the classroom. Remember, once a K-Hawk, always a K-Hawk. Hashtag K-Hawk Family. The Collinsville Education Association is a proud supporter of KHawkSports.com and the K-Hawk Sports Network. The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education and represent over 400 educators in 11 schools in both Madison and St. Clair counties. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page or the CEA's website at collinsvillecea.org. Pack Mail of Collinsville, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because, well, you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail at 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipSt.Louis.com or call Pack Mail at 346-4884.
Plumbing or electrical problems? Is your AC or heater on the fritz? There are dozens of companies out there, but do you really know who you're letting in your home? Trust Tiger. Our technicians are clean-cut, drug-free, and background checked. What other company can make this bold statement? Our 24-hour emergency service will ensure your plumbing, heating, AC, and electric are up and running no matter what time of day it is. Schedule your appointment today. Tiger Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical Services. We earn our stripes every day.
We welcome you back into Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. Halftime here of our first fifth place semifinal as Decatur MacArthur all over Althoff 42-19. Go ahead and go over some first half stats for you all. Your leading scorer in this one is 4 different people actually. For Althoff, Brian Grismala has 10, and after him it's been pretty slim pickings. Alex Johnson with 4, Luke Smith with 3, and Earl Liverpool with 2. Deerhill has not scored, 0 of 4, has 2 fouls, does have a block, so he's been there, just hasn't been able to do much on the offensive front. For MacArthur, 3 players into double figures, Stevie Tatum, King Dees, and Sean Lee, all with 10 points. After that, it's 10 between MJ Murphy and Sam Owens, who have 6 and 4 respectively, and King Smith with 2 points. It was 17-9 MacArthur after 1, and then they outscored the Crusaders 25-10 in the second to give them their current 23-point lead. Well, pretty easy way of looking at it is just looking at the field goal percentage. MacArthur 15 of 24, puts them up over 60% from the field, which is pretty darn good. 5-9 from 3. Again, up over 50%. 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Althoff, 6 of 26. Yeah, 23%. Not very good. Again, it's besides Brian Grismala, it's been pretty rough going for the Crusaders. 3 of 12 from 3. Again, 2 of those are from Grismala. And 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Grismala 2 of 2, and then Johnson 2 of 4. Rebounding. MacArthur out-rebounding the Crusaders 21-9. Offensive rebounds are the same. Earl Liverpool with 3, which is kind of impressive given the fact that he's 5'8". Turnovers, not a huge issue for either team. Althoff with 8. MacArthur with 7. MacArthur with 18 points in the paint, 15 points off of Althoff's turnovers, something we've talked about a lot. MacArthur doing a very good job of capitalizing when they are able to force those turnovers, even if they aren't forcing a remarkable amount. We're going to go ahead and take another break here. Be back with myself and Matthew Clark for second half action. Be back here in just a moment on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of K-Hawk Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go K-Hawks.
The Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been a proud supporter of KHawkSports.com and the K-Hawk Sports Network from day one. Since 1934, the Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been providing women in the community an opportunity to make a difference with fundraisers and projects, all that go towards helping the needy in Collinsville. If you would like any information on any event sponsored by the Collinsville Junior Service Club, head to Facebook, type in Collinsville Junior Service Club, and then click on the Event tab. We thank the Collinsville Junior Service Club for their continued support of the K-Hawk Sports Network and KHawkSports.com.
We welcome you back into Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, just about ready, to get started with our second half of action. Over in the auxiliary gym, Rockford East and Oakville going at it in the first 13th place semifinal, and the Erabs holding on to a slim 23-18 lead at halftime. MJ Murphy will bring the ball up for the Generals, who have the basketball to begin the second half. He'll get it back after giving it to Lee, and now back to Owens at the free throw line. He'll back things out, guarded closely there by Grismala. Working onto the wing now for Murphy, and got De'Aaron Hill on Tatum, doing a pretty good job of denying him the ball. Passes into Lee. He'll put the ball on the floor, take 2 steps, put up the shot, be fouled, and convert. That'll be on Patton Lee, and that will, I believe, be his 3rd.
I'm super excited to see where this heads for Sean Lee. I mean, he could be a pretty good player at Decatur MacArthur, and probably the best player in either of Decatur schools for a while. And it's going to be a pleasure watching him play next year. The question for him is, it'll be him and it'll be just him really next year. So I mean, good luck along with King D's, and MacArthur's got to be able to find some more people that can play decent roles for the general squad, because they can't just win this. Can't win it alone. Let's just say.
No, I mean, but that's something that they've kind of more or less. They've been able to reload. They've pretty much always been starting, back-to-back championships teams, starting, it's not like this is the same group of guys. You have pieces that come back. It's not like you're graduating everybody, King D's, MJ Murphy. These are names we called last year, but they definitely weren't in as major roles as Hill drives the lane and is fouled. I think by Owens.
I'm curious, Zach, on a different note, do you know what De'Air Hill Jr. is trending towards? I saw one recruiting website that said his best chances to Mizzou, but again, he's probably pretty early in his commitment. Any ideas on that?
Well, I don't know. I don't follow college football.
You know,
college football
I just didn't know if you had heard anything from through the grapevine.
Well, I mean, he's got some. Obviously, there's been a lot of very talented players from this general area that have gone to Mizzou. You look at Luther Burden,
Jamal Roberts, and Tavoris Jones. I don't know, Tavoris Jones from Texas, but Jamal Roberts is from the St. Louis area.
Cody Schrader, Lutheran South, Brady Cook, Chaminade. So certainly could see it, but still just a junior, and in the fluid world that is college football recruiting, anything is possible. You can.
That is so true.
We saw, Jeremiah McClellan flip it from Ohio State to Oregon. So
on signing day.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Three-pointer up and good from Grismalo. He's up to 13 points. It's been a good game for him.
Yeah,
like I said at halftime, it hasn't been a great game for really anybody else in the navy blue and gold.
Yeah, Althoff, that's the only bright spot I'd say for them. Defensively, they've really struggled here. Decatur MacArthur getting points in the paint at will, and they almost got some more right there. They're just being out-muscled in the middle, and it's just tough, especially, again, when you talk about that physical conditioning. MacArthur has a little bit more of a break coming into this game, and they're using all the extra time that they had to relax to their advantage.
Yeah. And obviously plenty of time to rest up, and I don't know if Althoff stayed as Dees misses his first free throw. Obviously MacArthur had the benefit of, obviously it's different because a lot of these Althoff guys would have slept in their own beds last night. MacArthur, I would assume, although they could have driven back last night, so we'll see as Luke Smith will come in for the Crusaders. He'll take the place of Lieb.
In for the Crusaders, number 10, Luke Smith.
Talk about 13 points for Bryden Grismalda for the Crusaders, and the rest of the Althoff team have combined for 9. De'Air Hill Jr. has been held to 2 points. Give some applause to that Decatur MacArthur defense. So much credit to them, as Althoff might try to, it almost was a 10-second violation.
Nearly, but able to get it across, and here is Hill. He'll throw a nice baseline pass to Smith. Hill shot fake, take a step in, and pretty good look, just didn't quite get it to fall. Here is Murphy. He'll bring it up onto the wing, drives the lane, cut off there by Grismala. Back now to Tatum. He'll pull up for a long three and drain it.
Feels like every time Stevie Tatum shoots that ball, it doesn't matter where he is. I was telling Todd earlier today, as soon as he crosses half court, actually, you know what? If he's 94 feet away, you probably should still guard him. You probably hit a three from there. Just a dominant three-point shooter, and he's also getting it done on the defensive end. And, I mean, the Generals have Althoff doubled up right now because their big players are making the big plays, and they're doing what is expected of them. If you talk about Sean Lee has 10, Sean Lee has 12, King Dees has 11, Stevie Tatum has 13. Those are your guys, and they're performing at a good level here in this fifth-place semifinal.
Yeah. Inbound pass comes in to Hill. He's cut off, kind of double-teamed. He'll kick it back out to Jackson. Now to Smith. He'll get it back to Jackson. He'll pull up for three, and that one gets nothing but air molecules.
That's one way to put it. He kind of puts his hand to his chest after that, saying, "My bad, my bad." Well, that was a tough shot. Anyways,
I mean, I don't know that you can really blame him. He took the three, and he's been a guy that's hit some threes.
I think he's good. He had a very good game one. I'm not sure he was that big of an asset in the quarterfinal for Althoff.
Yeah, he went 0-5, so maybe just not his day. I mean, but you get 4 all 16 teams. No matter how well you do, you get 4 games here, and so that was a foul. Thought it might have been a travel, but they're going to call a foul, I think, on the floor. Coach Bryson, maybe not quite as animated as he was this morning, but still plenty active.
I just think it's awesome that Therese Bryson is a head coach at Decatur MacArthur High School. When you talk about just ebbing and flowing and bleeding success and breathing success, really, that is what Therese Bryson has done. 77-17 record is the Decatur MacArthur head coach, and his playing days were actually better than his coaching days. He was an All-American honorable mention. Could you believe that? Therese Bryson was an All-American honorable mention. He scored 1,900 points for Stephen Decatur High School, the whole high school in Decatur, home of the Cardinals. He averaged 27 points per game in his senior year. So, if I'm one of these players for Decatur MacArthur, I'm listening to everything that this guy has to say because he's been there and he's done just about everything. He could have made it into the NBA, Zach, if it wasn't for a couple of injuries.
Yeah, I mean, it's they say that great players don't always make great coaches. Well, sometimes they do, and based on the culture of success. And again, it's not just been you get one good class. They've managed to reload and rebuild, and if you're winning 80% of your games, winning going 25-5 every year, I think you'd be pretty happy with that if you're the MacArthur administration. I mean, obviously, they've been a pretty consistent team to win a regional, contend for a sectional. They've had some. The program obviously has been in a good place, but Bryson's just had it be even better, as we'll have an offensive foul, I think, called on D's.
Yeah, it is going to be an offensive foul. You know what I wish would happen, Zach? Pick all the coaches, the 16 coaches in this tournament, and pin them up against each other in their prime. Because I would love to see Therese Bryson go up against 6'10" Sean Taggart of Colleyville. You know how awesome that would be? Rashad Lindsay from McClure North, he played at Auburn. I mean, come on now.
I mean, even Collinsville, Darren Lee played collegiate basketball. I mean, it would be a fun.
Everybody in their prime, which means they can't be playing when they're at right now, or else it'd probably be Taggart just dunking all over everybody.
Yeah. But maybe I don't know. That would be. I wonder if he still can get up. I mean, obviously
he's got it. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean, he was playing professional basketball, 5 years ago. So I think he still got it pretty well. Here is Murphy. He'll drive his way into the lane, shot up, and no good. Scramble forward. It will eventually come to De'Aaron Hill, who just 2 points. It's has not been De'Aaron's day. Although,
it's not been De'Aaron's game. He had a really good first game. And
it hasn't been De'Aaron's evening. Then there you go. That might be a better way to put it. He did play pretty well against Quincy, but obviously it's just Blue Devils are a extremely talented team. Bradley Longcore did everything well, but. Back to the game at hand. Grismala with it on the wing. He's guarded by Dees, and will try and get a screen from Hill. And he spun in. Nice job there. And he'll get it into the corner for Jackson. Nice pass out to Liverpool. Hill onto deep three, and I don't think that hit the rim. So
it did hit the rim. It absolutely hit the rim. That is I don't mean to get on the officials. That is not a good call. And I think the two other officials are going to help him out here, maybe?
Oh, they were quick.
No.
I thought
shot clock violation. My goodness.
I thought it maybe hit the backboard, but that's
I think it's justly served, though, Zach, because Liverpool had an open lane there. I guess as the shot clock's expiring, you'd have to shoot that shot. But, if you've got an extra second there, drive in. And, for Althoff, it shouldn't take you 35 seconds to get up a decent shot. That wasn't even a decent shot in the first place.
Well, I mean, we've seen, MacArthur are the team that's probably been the best as Dees, is fouled. MacArthur are probably the team that has the most defensive versatility. Foul is on Liverpool. That's his third. We've seen them play kind of a relatively standard man-to-man. We've seen them go to a 1-2-2 matchup zone. And we saw them in the O'Fallon game have some success going, full court man-to-man and really pressing teams hard. And there's not a ton of teams that can do that as Dees makes the free throw as Najir Wood will come in. He'll take the place of Murphy.
I want to remind you all that we still have 3 more games here on the K-Hawk Sports Network today. The next 2 are semifinal action. O'Fallon taking on Quincy in the first Curry Farms Holiday Classic meeting since the 1990s as DeMichael Jackson was fouled on the floor. 4th foul for MacArthur, so 4 fouls to both teams. And then the second semifinal, Collinsville and Lincoln playing against each other. An awfully familiar matchup, and we get another edition of it here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. Then at 9 o'clock, Triad play Bevel East in the second 5th place semifinal. Winner will play the winner of this game tomorrow. We'll have all that action for you here live on the K-Hawk Sports Network. Me, Todd, Steven will be bringing those games to you all. It should be fun.
Yeah, it should be. Kick out goes to Johnson, who will hit a 3-pointer from the corner. Alex Johnson up to 7 points, so he's starting to make a little bit of an impact, but it's just been, really cold shooting for Althoff, and a nice job there by Johnson getting the block there on Lee. MacArthur have just been, it's just been a thorough victory. It's just one of those things, kind of almost like that Quincy Oakville game. I don't even think Oakville played that badly. I think it's just
not to their standards.
Yeah, I think it's just purely overmatched. And we'll see what happens in Oakville, hanging around with Rockford East. They got a pretty good game going over there in the auxiliary gym. But it's just not been one here as the shot up no good. And the scramble will come all the way out to Michael Jackson, who will launch a 3. That one's no good. That just kind of sums up the day. Tatum with the rebound, and he'll go for the long outlet pass to Carson, and he makes the save to Lee, and he will shot up no good. Might have gotten fouled. A little bit of contact there, but no call. 23-point game. You don't want to extend things too much. Nice pass there from Liverpool. Smith with a great head fake.
And fair play to Smith there. He holds that pivot put there. If Althoff could just make a couple of shots, maybe it's not the worst thing. And maybe they could make some sort of comeback. I mean, I'm not quite sure it's still a long ways away for Althoff, but they can score a will. They were down 20 multiple times last year's tournament, and they were able to come back and make it happen.
Full timeout taken by MacArthur. We'll be back here in just a moment on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Do you have a big land improvement project that requires some outside help? Call Petroff Trucking Company. The Petroff companies have been shaping the metro area since 1975. Family owned and operated, Petroff Trucking Company can do the job and do it right. Hauling, excavating, and grading, they do that and more. Petroff Companies also has roll-off dumpster rentals. They also specialize in dirt and rock sales. Petroff Trucking Company can help you develop your land for your needs. Petroff Trucking Company. Check out their website, PetroffTrucking.com, or give them a call, 618-797-6100. Petroff Trucking Company, shaping the metro area since 1975.
We welcome you back. It is a 21-point lead for MacArthur as they have led wire to wire here against Althoff, led by as many as 23 and could get it to 23 or even to 24. MJ Murphy to bring the ball up for the Generals, and he'll get it back from Carson there in the corner. He'll dribble it onto the wing, put on some nice crossover dribbles, and get it back to Carson. And he will double dribble.
Yeah, I think that's the right call there. I mean, I think we saw it in the Collinsville game too. You kind of make that first dribble, and then you kind of pick it up, and it's maybe not a true dribble. Then, second dribble, and there you go. It's a double dribble. Easiest, that's third grade stuff.
Yep. Inbound pass comes in for the Crusaders, and it will be Liverpool to bring it up. The pass will come over to Smith, and he'll work it in kind of a post-up play there for Hill, and back out to Smith, who will hit the three-pointer. Luke Smith quietly had a reasonably good tournament. He's up to 8 points, so not a horrible day for him. He had 5, and the Althoff lost to Quincy earlier, and I think he had about 8 points in Althoff's win over Mundelein yesterday. Turnover there by the Generals, and it will get it to Johnson, who will lay it up and in. And
I told you, Zach, this is what will happen here. Got a little comeback going for Althoff. Althoff loved the second half. Decatur and MacArthur haven't been too great in the second half in the last couple of games here in this Prairie Farms Holiday Classic, which is different from the teams that won the back-to-back titles in 2021 and 2022.
We'll see what happens. I mean, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here. The deficit is still 16 as Stevie Tatum will make it 18. He's up to 15 points. I would have to think, we talked about Jaden Rush almost assuredly being an all-tournament team member. I think you got to put Stevie Tatum on that list now.
I don't know. Tough call.
I mean, it's still early. We still have 3 more games and then a whole day tomorrow, and there's only so many names you can put on that list. But the way he's managed, the things he's managed to do very well, he's defended well, he's shot the ball very well. I mean, still early, but definitely somebody that I'm putting on my preliminary ballot. 3 throw up and good from Jackson, as Owens will come in for Wood for the Generals of Douglas MacArthur High School. Or I think it is just MacArthur High School, named for Douglas MacArthur, who was a general for hence the nickname, for the United States military during the Second World War. There's your history lesson.
It's the way we're off school. Everyone's off school. The students don't have second semester up yet, so let them wait.
Yeah. And we might as well enlighten people. Dees shot up, no good. Hill skies for the rebound. 30 seconds remaining. Essentially no difference between shot and game clock. And they will go ahead and just turn it off. Hill with the recovery, and he'll reset things. 19 seconds remaining. He's guarded by Murphy. He'll drive the lane and be fouled. That'll be Murphy's first. No, that's his third.
That might be another problem for Decatur. A couple of problems for Decatur here in the second half, in their second half so far. Number one, they have not gotten up and down the floor as quick as they normally do. I mean, in the first half, they were flying up and down the floor, and now it just feels like they're a little bit more tired than they were. And the other problem is they foul too much in the second half. Most all of their players are in foul trouble. I mean, I think 3 of their 4 big assets in earlier in today's game, were in foul trouble, and that's the kind of stuff that Decatur MacArthur has to cut out. They did well actually against that in Granite City, but they had that problem today against O'Fallon. It seems like they're having that problem a little bit tonight against Althoff, and maybe giving them an avenue to at least give themselves a chance in this game, the Crusaders.
Yes, Hill makes them both. He's up to 4 points deficit, down to 15, which is as low as it's been in a while. Generals will hold for 1 here. Here is Murphy. 5 seconds left. He'll pick up his dribble and get it out there in the corner for Owens. Probably not him you want shooting, as Murphy will get a shot off. Actually, a pretty open look and get it to fall.
Well, there we go. We finally have our buzzer beater of the day. Althoff thought that there was a potential travel in that play, but hey, born scorers do that, Zach. I mean, they just pick up the basketball, they throw it at they throw it to the basket. They're saying, I'm scoring whatever it is, and MJ Murphy does that right there. How many points is that for him today, Zach? I think just his
for Murphy, that would be 9.
9 points. Well, there you go.
So, yeah, 55-37 after 3 quarters of play. We'll be back for the final quarter here in just a bit on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Looking for good food, good times, and good people? Look no further than the Bridge Inn in Caseyville. Just over the bridge from the K-Hawk Stadium, Bridge Inn features a friendly and courteous staff that serves up the coldest drinks and the best food in the Metro East. Lunch and dinner is available daily, with a breakfast menu every Saturdays and Sunday morning. And don't forget about fantastic fish fry Fridays. Bridge Inn also features pool tournaments on most weekends and a gaming area for the over 21 crowd. Bridge Inn in Caseyville. Check them out at 519 North Main Street in Caseyville. Call for carryout orders at 618-344-3530. The best is yet to come at the Bridge Inn in Caseyville. 618-344-3530.
We welcome you back. It'll be Crusaders ball to begin the 4th quarter. Zach Roseman and Matthew Clark with you here for our first 5th place semifinal of the 39th annual Prairie Farms Holiday Classic here at Collinsville High School.
Well, Althoff was giving themselves a chance there, and they actually get the ball to start the quarter, but then MJ Murphy just drills a 3, and it's an 18-point game. That just feels like it's out of reach still for the Crusaders. And, the story for them is, no matter what they do, those always having that big deficit to work against is going to hurt them. Good hustle there by Decatur MacArthur once more, as it was Kymir Carson helping force the turnover. It's back to the Generals on the jump ball.
Yep. Obviously, that's not really an innocuous start, but we've seen what happens. But Althoff are running out of time. We've had situations. We've had teams make some comebacks. I mean, we saw earlier today over in the auxiliary gym, Decatur Eisenhower down by as many as 20 points and got it down to a tie basketball game with just a couple seconds left until a clutch shot from Carbondale gave the Terriers the win there. It's not impossible, but if you're Althoff, you got to start making a dent into it now, but they do force the turnover there. Here is Johnson. He'll get it over to Liverpool and now to Jackson, who will pull up for 3 and get it to fall.
And that's what Althoff's going to have to do with this entire 4th quarter if they're going to even have a remote chance. And DeMichael Jackson has been off on day 2. When you see one get to go, that's big. And now Decatur MacArthur have to worry about him alongside a couple of other players like De'Air Hill and Luke Smith. And Bryden Grismalda, who's actually on the bench right now, which actually, that surprises me that Grismalda's on the bench, as he's been Althoff's best player so far, one of the best players.
Yeah, it's maybe just kind of a rotational analog thing, and speak of the devil and he shall appear, he'll come in at the next stop. Liverpool does pick up his 4th foul, though, which, for defensive and facilitating purposes, may be an object of some concern. Shot it from Murphy, no good. Rebounded by Tatum and knocked out of bounds by Hill. Grismala will come in, and he will take the place of Liverpool.
I think that's a good substitution by Greg Lee. When you need points right now, right? Liverpool doesn't have I mean, he barely has any points, Earl Liverpool. So I don't know. I don't know if he scored. Doesn't matter though. Grismalda has like 13 or 15. So you want to put him on the floor. I know Earl Liverpool's a good facilitator.
3-pointer from Tatum, no good, and fouled, shoved out of bounds. There was Jackson. They'll give that one to Dees. That's his third. So now Murphy and Dees both with 3.
I think the lesson that Decatur MacArthur is going to learn this tournament, how to close out games, and that will be a point of emphasis for the Generals. I mean, and you think about that, they really didn't have to deal with that much since the Decatur Turkey tournament. I mean, they beat the last opponent they played by almost 60 points, Zach. And so when that happens, you're not worried about closing out games. You're not worried about it being close.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing that, the Central State 8 may be a little weak this year is Jackson will take another 3-pointer, and here comes Althoff, maybe. Or we obviously have to put the qualifier in.
As normal.
Yes.
I mean, this is what Althoff has done with these group of players for a long time, and now they're tapping into it right here. Decatur MacArthur, I'd argue, only needs about 3 or 4 more baskets to close this game out, but can they get them? Not there, they can't.
Lee loses the ball, and it's another turnover. Coach Bryson putting out his instructions, and we'll see maybe go with maybe a defensively different look. Grismala guarded by his opposite number, Carson. Now to Johnson. He'll get it now to Jackson eventually. Around now to Hill. He'll take a 3, and that one's well short. Hits the rim. Rebounded by Dees. So Deer Hill's got to get something going. I mean, it mentioned Jordan Lewis and how he could, almost backpacked Althoff to some wins after being down by some major deficits. Maybe it'll have to be somebody else. It may not be Deer Hill's game. Shot up from Lee, good. And that's a good steadying presence. Sean Lee up to 14 points, and that's just one of those things that makes life really easy, having that steadying factor. As Grismala is fouled, I think that'll be on Carson.
Yep, Bryden Grismala will go to the free throw line, and an interesting substitution here. Kyle Johnson-Fowler is going to check into the game for Althoff. I don't think he's played yet today, so an interesting call there by Greg Lee, but I don't blame him. He may have to try to switch something up. Yeah, good bucket there by Sean Lee, and even though this has not been Decatur MacArthur's best half, they've only scored 17 points in this half. To Althoff's, I'm trying to
15 to I think 25-15.
My
Althoff,
goodness, yeah. And you talk about MacArthur, though. Sean Lee has had some big baskets in the second half, and all the big 3 for MacArthur, Lee, Tatum, and Dees have all been steady presences, and that has helped MacArthur just relax here a little bit when they need to in this game.
Yeah. It'll be Carson to bring the ball up for the Generals. He'll get it over to Murphy, and they'll flow into their offense, will the Generals. Murphy guarded pretty closely there by Grismala. 16 on the shot clock now. He'll get around Grismala and be fouled by Grismala. That is his third.
Yeah, and the referee's reward, it was Murphy with the basketball, and Grismala played really tight defense, and then Murphy beat him, and then Grismala tries the back hit pick. That's a lazy play whenever you get beat by your defender, and so, again, the referees are awarding Decatur MacArthur there for winning the one-on-one dribble battle.
Yeah, one, you can kind of look at basketball, you have to look at it as the team aspect, but you've got 5 individuals, and those individual matchups are a way of perceiving the way the game works. Lee will get it at the free throw line, but he took one too many steps. Kind of interesting. They got Johnson-Fowler into guard, and maybe for defensive purposes. Johnson-Fowler played just 1 minute so far as...
Yeah, defense for offense. You're literally right, Zach, because now they just check into Michael Jackson, who just hit the last 2 threes. Maybe Jackson is as good as of a defender. And Sean Lee, those are the kind of little things that he's still working on as a sophomore. He's got to work on those, and then he can be a good player.
Smith drives the lane, got a little too far under the basket. Some contact, no foul called. Carson will bring the ball up, and maybe a little early to say this, but a bucket here might end it. Tatum will pull up, and no good. And Lee skies for the rebound around to Tatum and now to Carson. And he'll get it into Dees, who will lay it up and in, and back out to 14 again, and that might be it. It's still early, still time, but Althoff have got to show there's got to be a little bit more done on the offensive end. Kick out from Hill to Johnson, who will rattle a three-pointer in. And, of course, now that I say something, we'll see what happens. Greg Lieb will take a 60-second timeout. We'll be back in that amount of time here on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Are you in need of a new mailbox to go with your new home? How about a new mailbox to replace your old one? Look no further than Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes in Collinsville. From economy to custom, Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes can create a mailbox that suits your needs. Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes is licensed and insured. They use only high-quality materials and offer a satisfaction guarantee policy. Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes can also make your very own axe throwing set, hanging or standing. Whether you need that axe throwing set or a new mailbox, you need Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes in Collinsville. For more information, get a hold of Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes at 618-680-0208 or online at needanewmailbox.com.
We welcome you back into Virgil Gymnasium. 249 seconds left.
Good math there.
In our, yeah, try. Here in our fourth quarter of our first fifth-place semifinal. Tatum MacArthur still holding on to the lead. Althoff have made a bit of an effort trying to get back into things here.
As they always do.
Yeah,
this is just astonishing, you know. MacArthur was up 20 and was going to about ready to have this game in a running clock. And Althoff, they just do what Althoff does, and you just hope that Althoff continues to mix in their three-point makes, which has gotten really good in the fourth quarter, along with their driving. You know, mix it up against the Decatur MacArthur defense, and again, they're going to have to continue making shots. They're going to have to continue making stops on this end.
Lee over on the wing, guarded by Hill, which seems like a logical, pretty good matchup for me. Murphy will go ahead and back it out. 12 on the shot clock, and Hill drive the lane past Grismala, kick it out to Tatum for three, no good. Rebounded by Hill, and well, maybe see what Althoff can do here on this possession. Hill to Grismala, that one's short and out of bounds, and
they thought that the Althoff players thought that Hill didn't tip that, but the referee believed so it's going to be MacArthur basketball. I'm not crazy about that shot. I think it's good contest there by Decatur MacArthur. Again, they fell in love with the three there, Zach. Mix in the drive. De'Aaron Hill Jr., go get contact. You're a good free throw shooter anyways. And these referees, I think, will call a foul in this certain situation.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Grismala's done a pretty good job shooting the ball. I don't blame him for taking that shot as Smith really gets into D's there on the screen now. But now that's more time that MacArthur can run off the clock, and you know, you do have the shot clock as ball knocked out of bounds. Liverpool with his 4 fouls will come in, and he'll replace Grismala. So you're going to have that facilitating capability, but still got to play defense, and Liverpool does have 4 fouls. Looks like he's going to be matched up with Carson.
10 seconds on the shot clock here. I think they're going to try to get into the lead, and they do.
Yep, back now to Murphy. He'll drive the lane. A little bit of a push-off. Long two, good.
Fair play to MJ Murphy. I think he got fouled there too. So kind of doing it with the nickname that he has. Good old MJ. Marlin Jr. I think is what it stands for being honest.
There we go. Step back three from Hill. That one's no good. Smith skied for the rebound, but it's rebounded by Lee, and Murphy will say, hey, give me the ball. You ain't dribbling the ball off the floor. Here we go. 2.5 minutes to go. Lead still at 13. MacArthur being as patient as, more patient than they usually are, but it's usually there's a kind of aggressiveness that they haven't quite had to go with as much.
Not in this fourth quarter.
Maybe a little passive. That's maybe part of the reason why Althoff have managed to get back into this game is Hill will be called for a blocking foul, and that's his 4th.
De'Aaron Hill Jr.'s fouls today have been poor, and they've been poorly timed, and there have been quite a few of them. And, with 8 seconds left on the shot clock, you just gave them a new 35 seconds, and that's more time ran off. And now I think this game probably dead and gone for Althoff. You talk about Tatum, he did have 15 points, but MacArthur has done better with having a balanced scoring attack and getting it to guys like Lee, who scores that layup, and MJ Murphy. The group has combined for a total of 41 points today. So, yeah, give the Generals some credit on that end.
Yeah, Hill will go ahead and take a three-pointer. That one's no good. Long rebound out to Jackson. Will pull it from the free throw line. That one's short. Gets his own rebound again. Shot up and good. Nice job there. Coach Lieb will take another full timeout. We'll be back here in just a minute. 100 seconds left here on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
The Collinsville Daily News, the new online source for everything newsworthy in and around Collinsville. This news source is designed to be the heartbeat of the Collinsville community and is owned and operated by members that live in this area. The Collinsville Daily News generates their revenue with local support from the community in which they serve and from advertising. They do not charge to read their content, so you'll never run into one of those annoying paywalls. Not only that, but the Collinsville Daily News offers free classified advertising. You have items you want to buy, sell, or trade? It's free to post. Wedding or engagements announcements, as well as obituaries, all free at CollinsvilleDailyNews.com. Plus, they have the content that matters most. Collinsville news you need to know, coverage of K-Hawk sports, and a keen eye on city news. The Collinsville Daily News also has an event tab that allows you to find out what is going on in and around the region for you and your family, the heartbeat of the community. Helping readers make sense of an increasingly chaotic world. Check them out at CollinsvilleDailyNews.com, on social media sites Facebook and Instagram. The heartbeat of this community is the Collinsville Daily News.
Back here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, 100 seconds left. Full court man-to-man from the Althoff Crusaders. Pass just over the outstretched arms of DeMichael Jackson, and MJ Murphy will go ahead and bring the ball up. Under 100 seconds to go now, and Althoff are probably going to have to go out and trap, maybe even start fouling intentionally. Nearly threw the ball away, and this time MacArthur does. So
it's been those turnovers from MacArthur in this game that has allowed Althoff back into the game. Also good Althoff shooting. I mean, Althoff shot the ball much better in the second half, and now they're going to go as fast as possible.
Yep, get it out there. Johnson will drive the lane. No good. Shot up, no good. D's have the clean block, but we do have a foul.
And I think that's going on Sean Lee. Just got behind Johnson there. So the clean block by D's, but a little nudge from the backside. It was Lee who gave it to him, and so you do not want to put Althoff on the free throw line for Decatur MacArthur's standpoint. No time's running off the clock here, and it's 3 points if the Crusaders can make the free throws.
Yeah, first one from Johnson up and good. Althoff have done a reasonably good job here in this one of making the free throws, and that is, honestly, I would almost have just given him the open layup. Then you're at least still running time off the clock. Here now, you got the foul, and that's another foul for Lee. I mean, it's 3. It's not like it's a major issue. It's not like he just fouled out, but again, it's dead ball points. Those aren't the things that you want. You're going to give up the points, that's fine. As a little bit of as Liverpool with the deflection there, and he gets the steal, and well, hold on here now. Out to Johnson, he'll get it back from Smith. Tic-tac-toe, another three-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Dees, and now Althoff probably have to foul, and it will be DeMichael Jackson who does. 64 seconds left.
Yeah, and that'll be the Crusaders' 4th foul. I mean, you could try to put the MacArthur Generals on the line. I think they'll make their free throws. And Therese Bryson, that might be one of the things that he is going to discuss in this full timeout.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and take a break here. 64 seconds left. 11-point lead for the Generals. Back in just a bit on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Are you in need of a new mailbox to go with your new home? How about a new mailbox to replace your old one? Look no further than Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes in Collinsville. From economy to custom, Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes can create a mailbox that suits your needs. Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes is licensed and insured. They use only high-quality materials and offer a satisfaction guarantee policy. Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes can also make your very own axe throwing set, hanging or standing. Whether you need that axe throwing set or a new mailbox, you need Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes in Collinsville. For more information, get a hold of Big Dick's Brick Mailboxes at 618-680-0208 or online at needanewmailbox.com.
We welcome you back. Crowd starting to grow back here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium after the departure following the beginning of the, as we kind of begin a new session, so to speak, here.
Right.
As we're in the semifinals, we're in the end game now, so to speak.
Any thoughts on those semifinals games? I know we have a bit of action to go through, but any quick thoughts?
Yeah, it should be fun. 2 very solid matchups. The consolation matchup should be fun as well. Tatum will bring the ball up, and he is fouled by Jackson. And that will put the Generals out the free throw line.
It's been very stop-start kind of in these next game.
Kind of herky-jerky here. Not really, pretty much at about the same place as the auxiliary gym. Rockford East holding on to a 7-point lead with about 35 or so, about 1 shot clock cycle left here. Tatum shot Actually did not go to the free throw line, but did shoot 2 of 4. Makes that one. And the lead back out to 12. Althoff need to get up and get going here real quick. Less than a minute to play. Here is to Michael Jackson. Don't really have time to be dribbling the ball around. Get it now to Liverpool. Now Jackson will take the long 3. Get it to fall. Back under.
Oh, my. Got another timeout.
Back to single digits. We'll go ahead and keep it here for this one. Back down to single digits. MacArthur led by as many as 23 late. We're up by 23 at halftime, and Althoff have slowly, gradually climbed their way kind of back into the game, and it's not over yet.
Here's a shout. If it was a 5-4 quarter basketball game, I think Althoff had a really good chance of winning it. But it's a 4-quarter basketball game. They only got 45 seconds left here. I think they're going to have to count on Decatur MacArthur turning the ball over here at some point in these next 45 seconds to really have that chance. If MacArthur does their job and takes care of business here in terms of closing the game out, making their free throws per se, then the Generals should be headed on to the 5th place game. But again, the story of both of these teams is, can either of these teams play a complete game? I'm not sure, genuinely. Not sure if either of these teams can play a full 4 quarters where they continue to play well.
Yep. Inbound pass comes into Murphy, who is fouled by Smith. That's his first, so Althoff doing a good job in determining who's fouling the guy. So obviously you got Hill and Liverpool both on the floor with 4 fouls. Murphy probably not the best guy to foul. Went 3 of 7 in the quarterfinal, but 4-4 in the first half, and making anything will get it back to 4 possessions, which 44.6 seconds, not much time. Shot up and good from Murphy. He is up to 12 points, so 4 Generals in double figures, and that's that balance that's been a calling card of this MacArthur team. Murphy makes them both back out to an 11-point lead, and well, again, we'll see. It's not over yet, but certainly making it look less and less likely as backcourt violation.
I don't know about that one. Yeah, and DeMichael Jackson. Look at DeMichael Jackson was literally standing there. He's like, hey, he's got 1 foot in one each side. That's not a backcourt violation. So even the Althoff player's a little upset by that call. But
it's just a little interesting to call a little bit of a ticky-tack one there, but it is what it is. It just kind of dragging things along here.
Right.
Jackson picks up his 3rd, and now it's just more free throw shooting practice for MJ Murphy.
And I like Althoff. I like their fight back, but I cannot give them any sympathy here. I mean, you cannot come out and be down 42-19 at the half. You're not going to win basketball games that way. The good news for the Crusaders is they're not going to probably be going up against teams that physically strong in their regular season conference schedule and all of that stuff. Maybe a good learning opportunity here in the playoffs and late in the season. You cannot get down early and expect to come back and breeze through. And lesson learned here for Althoff there. They've got to figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, especially with Althoff being in 2A, there are some juggernauts in this area in 2A. Nice steal there by Kymir Carson as Liverpool will go ahead and try to foul out.
He almost did.
Yeah,
maybe trying to get that distinction.
You've got some really tough teams. The Breeze Centrals, your Westlands, your Carlisles, and those are teams that'll really just drag it out. It's a lot of those Clinton County or Clinton County-esque type basketball games. I mean, it's a grind, and that's something that this will kind of help with. Althoff haven't really played, but if you wind up got Triad Belleville East in the 9 o'clock game, which should be a fun matchup, but if you wind up getting Triad, you're going to have kind of that preparation for that, not necessarily the elite athleticism that you're going to get from some other teams, but it's still going to happen. Carson makes it both and lead out to 14, so, and it looks like we're going to be pretty much synced up right here with the auxiliary gym, but Oakville putting a little bit of a fight back on, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, 4-point game, Rockford East with the lead.
Yep. Shot up, no good, but Lee will get the rebound, and that will go ahead and end our proceedings here. Your final score in this one, 69-55. The MacArthur Generals rebound from that loss to O'Fallon, and will play for 5th place tomorrow at 2:30. Althoff will look to get back into the winners column tomorrow, as they will
play at 1 o'clock.
Play for 7th at 1 o'clock. And we're going to go ahead and hang on just a second to get you the score of the Rockford East Oakville game, which will be 53-47 in favor of the E-Rabs. And they'll go ahead and give Sean Lee player of the game. 16, 12, and 3 assists, so a good showing for the sophomore. We'll go ahead and wrap things up here. Be back for our first semifinal action. This will be all for me. I'd like to thank you all for watching and listening to me. It'll be Todd Duque and Matthew Clark for the next one. Till then, everybody take care and have a fantastic rest of your evening.
No, I'm sorry I'll be in this gym.